Hi, thanks for stopping by. It's August 2026. This is a little bit about how the CloudFormation template is set up in the Calendar server on AWS. The Calendar server on AWS is built and supported by 31events.com. If you want to go to that URL, you can see more. If you want to try out how this whole thing works, you can go to calendarsnack.com. That is a free demo service, and you can go see how that app was built. What I represent today, though, is the Counter-Invite server side. And the Counter-Invite server in the CloudFormation template will ship with not only the Counter-Invite server itself, but it will ship with a Counter-Invite server console. The console and the CalendarFormation template are both bootstrapped. They can be downloaded with a zip file on your laptop and then set up into your AWS account. We do have a script that runs. It is an automated script process. The script runs, takes 15 minutes for the Counter-Invite server infrastructure to be set up via the CloudFormation template, and another 10 minutes to set up the All Events console. That All Events console talks to this API layer here. We ship with 9 custom-built APIs that are part of the CloudFormation template that automates the APIs, and when you pop out of the installer, you will get the automated keys. They'll give you access to hook up the front end to grab the data, the display data for the GUI. And the GUI itself is down here, and I'm going to get more into that in the next couple slides. But for the purpose of this demo, what I'm showing down here is the All Events console itself with a whole bunch of MLB data in it. You see the MLB stuff down here. You see what's called a schedule generator is one of our options to actually generate schedules. It takes all the data in here. In the future, it generates a sports schedule. That sports schedule itself can be decorated. We have a auto decorator here as part of it. And then we deploy the schedule itself. In this case here, the demonstrations around the MLB. I essentially ingested the 2,500 MLB events into the Counter-Invite server using our disassembly and ETL process up here. They're stored in the REST API. And when the REST API is called in the GUI itself down here in the All Events console, the elaboration of that is through this pull request here, out the gateway, down here, and the browser session goes out and gets all of these this data set in REST for the console itself to be generated or materialized, as they say in the big data business. So that is it for the pipeline overall. And what happens when you deploy the sporting schedule page per this demonstration, Mandy at techvader.com is your demo person. She puts in her email address. She scrolls around the MLB schedule. She picks out some games. She clicks the button after putting her email address at the top, clicks the buttons, and she gets a calendar invite for a couple games. She says yes to one, maybe for the other. We gather that detailed information via the UID, and that's sent back to the API gateway. So the API gateway can pull data out, and we can actually request data back via the gateway. And in this function routine, what we are asking for is the granular yes, no, or maybe per the UID from every calendar invite sent out. We grab that data, we put it in the API. The API goes back up here to the function, and then we do a Lambda function. We stuff it into S3 and then into DynamoDB for the stats. So you can kind of see here some of the organizer calendar event stats, the stat detail. These are the two, or so that pull stat data. We pull stat data, for the organizer and then all domain as well. That means everybody that is an organizer within this domain of yours are gathered up and sequenced into a visualization or materialization of all events. So this runs left to right. I'm going to run it one more time. You're going to hand out your organizer calendar client email address. Your users can be within your own domain or outside the domain. You can set up identity and allow who can actually send data to this email address. If you're an AWS administrator, it's pretty simple. Your customers will send data in. They're materialized using the client. The client UID for that specific event is bound to the email address, that UID itself, and then the email address are bound together with some of our secret sauce, and they're stored here under disassembly, then recalled via the embedded REST APIs deployed here in this example for the sporting game schedule. Now, the point of the CRUD engine is the reason why we like to use the calendar clients for Outlook or Google is that across the world in every country and every language, they're supported also via TZ or time zone. So if you think about those modalities, it's pretty tough to build a client to do that all. And essentially the calendar client has it all built in. And that's why we use this as a global solution in AWS. So what this means when we bind the UID to the email address and you were to use your same calendar client with the same create at your domain box in ingest in this S3 ingest and engine, when it goes to ETL, when we disassemble, we do a lookup and we say, oh, it is an update. So this means that you must have changed some data within your calendar client for this particular event or this game for this UID. And what we do is we do +1 in the database and we track the status of N+1 in your updates. And that is stored here in disassembly. Now, upon recall, we are always pulling the latest N+1 data out of the database. So when we reassemble the data on a request in the APIs, this data then is flowed and updated here. It's updated in a generator, decorator, and the display APIs. Now, when it comes to your customers downstream that actually have the original REST API calendar invite, we actually auto send the updated calendar invites out through this pipeline. So that happens in the background using our functions here in the calendar invite server and using our APIs. That's a quick recap. Now, the particular use cases that we do here automatically, I'm going to get to just this one page. The use cases we have for the calendar invite embed options include web pages, schedules, MailChimp, direct list, apps, and AI chatbots. That means this single calendar event invitation send down here, I'm scrolling around, is embedded into these alternative embedded solutions for calendar invites. So the calendar invites can be embedded in any of these functions, and there is a picker selection process here. If I go up one right here, and you'll see that when you generate the calendar invite server dashboard itself, these are individual events in which I can do unique things with. I could embed, say, this LA game for San Diego round 27. If I wanted to on September 24th, I could actually use this for a embedded call to action generated MailChimp campaign. I could use this as a separate landing page just for this singleton event. I could do a VIP direct, meaning that for this game here, I could do a bulk send to a VIP list. And if I wanted to, I could actually build out a materialized schedule like I'm showing here in this one here. I can materialize a large schedule of up to 5,000 events if I wanted to. We've tested with, you could test more. But for the MLB schedule, we have 2,500 events running. So that's kind of a quick demo talking about our tech stack. Thanks for stopping by today on Saturday. I believe it's August 22nd, 2026. And thanks again.